All right, let's dive in. In a world that's always pushing for more, 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 finding a little bit of inner peace can feel, well, next to impossible. But what if there was a practical guide to get you there? Today, that's exactly what we're digging into, a real toolkit for what we'll call emotional harmony.
So let me ask you something and be honest with yourself. Do you ever feel completely trapped by that constant, nagging need to be perfect? It's like carrying a huge weight on your back. And you know what? It's way more common than you might think.
For a lot of us, this pressure doesn't just stay in our heads. It shows up in our bodies, in our moods, like a constant low hum of anxiety that never quite goes away. And where is all that anxiety coming from? Well, it's usually fueled by the incredible pressure we put on ourselves. The pressure to always win, to never mess up, and to be the absolute ideal version of ourselves in every single situation. If you dig even deeper, what's underneath all of that? A desperate need for control. It's this fear that if we make just one tiny mistake, the whole house of cards is going to come tumbling down. It's just exhausting, isn't it? So, this whole feeling has a name. It's the weight of perfectionism. I want you to think of it like a bunch of hidden burdens you're carrying around every single day, slowing you down when you don't even realize it's happening. But here's the really good news. You can absolutely lighten that load. Today, we're going to build your very own emotional harmony toolkit. And we're not talking about abstract ideas here. We're talking about practical, hands-on exercises you can start using like today. So, what's the end goal here? We're aiming for something called emotional harmony. And what I love about this idea is that it's not about getting rid of all your bad feelings. No way. It's about finding an inner balance by 1, accepting yourself as you are, 2, understanding your emotions, and 3, building a real connection with the real you. Our toolkit is built around 3 core exercises, and I want you to think of these less like some complicated meditation and more like a workout for your mind, mental fitness routines, really, designed to give you actual relief right when you need it most. Okay, our first exercise is all about letting go of those insane standards we set for ourselves. Look at step 1. You start by actually visualizing yourself carrying these heavy bags. And this isn't just make-believe. Visualizing something fires up the same parts of your brain as actually doing it, which helps prep your mind for a real change. Next, you just acknowledge them. Recognize that, hey, maybe these bags once tried to protect you. And then, you consciously choose to set them down and really feel that lightness. You finish it off by embracing imperfection with a simple thought. I am enough exactly as I am. So how do you know if it's actually working? You'll start to notice real, tangible changes. Things like feeling less anxious before a big meeting, or just finding it easier to make a decision without overthinking it for 3 days. That little voice in your head, the inner critic, it gets quieter. You just feel more resilient, maybe even a little more joyful. Okay, tool number 2 asks you to explore your inner landscape. I absolutely love this metaphor. Instead of fighting your emotions, you picture them as a terrain. You've got mountains of joy, valleys of sadness, the whole thing. And your job isn't to level the mountains or fill in the valleys. It's just to observe it all with curiosity. When you notice a recurring pattern, you don't judge it. This is so important because judgment just puts your brain on high alert. Curiosity, though, opens you up. You just gently ask, hey, where did you come from? And then you simply breathe with compassion, letting the pattern soften. And the result? You become way less reactive. Instead of getting totally hijacked by your feelings, you start to develop a much deeper understanding of yourself. You gain what you could call emotional flexibility, which lets you respond to things authentically instead of just reacting based on some old, worn-out pattern. Our third exercise is a game changer. It helps transform solitude from something scary into a source of real connection. First, you just anchor yourself in your breath. Then, if you're feeling lonely, you just acknowledge it. No judgment, just notice it. Now, here's the cool part. As you breathe, you intentionally breathe in a feeling of self-companionship, and you breathe out the weight of isolation. This actually helps regulate your nervous system, calming your body's stress response. You finish by expanding your awareness out, feeling your connection to the ground beneath you and the air you're breathing. And when you practice this, being alone just starts to feel different. That anxiety starts to fade, and it's replaced by a real sense of comfort. You might even start to appreciate those quiet moments, feeling a sense of belonging, not just with other people, but with yourself and the world around you. Look, these exercises are really powerful, but let's be honest. The real transformation happens when you actually make them a part of your daily life. So how do you do that? How do you build a consistent practice? Let's break down a super simple daily action plan. Just look at how simple and actionable this is. You can start the day with a 2-minute emotional check-in. That's it.
2 minutes. When you feel stressed later, you take a self-compassion break. When that perfectionism monster rears its head, you just pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, what is actually enough right now? This is all about weaving these tiny, intentional moments into the fabric of your day. This isn't about adding another huge thing to your to-do list. It's about transforming the small moments you already have. So there you have it. You've got the tools, you've got the daily plan. This journey toward emotional harmony isn't some giant, overwhelming task. It's something that can start right now with one tiny shift in your day. And I want to leave you with this really powerful idea. Your emotional patterns are not your prison, but a map to deeper self-understanding. Just think about that. What if every single moment of anxiety or frustration wasn't a failure, but a signpost, a little arrow pointing you toward more freedom and more awareness? That kind of reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? So my final question to you is this. Looking at that daily plan, thinking about those 3 exercises, what's the one practice you'll try today?